The applause was a deafening roar, a sea of black gowns and golden tassels swaying in triumph, but my eyes were fixed on one thing, the single, agonizingly empty seat in the front row. I clutched my law school diploma to my chest, the leather cold against my skin, as I scanned the crowd one last time. I was looking for a father's loud whistle or a mother's tearful wave. Instead, my phone vibrated in my pocket. A text from Mom. "We're at the mall, Leia. Brooke needed a few things for her trip. Don't overthink this, it's just a ceremony. See you later." The world tilted. 3 years of sleepless nights, law review, and grueling internships, all dismissed for a shopping trip. I was the backup child, the one whose achievements were expected but never celebrated. I slipped out of the auditorium before the first cap hit the air, my heels clicking a lonely rhythm on the polished tiles. I sat on a secluded stone bench, pulled off my mortarboard, and let out one shaky breath. Then, my other phone rang, the one associated with the secret tech startup I'd built in the shadows of my library carrel. "Leia." My partner Rachel's voice was vibrating with intensity. "Tell me you're sitting down." "I am." "What happened?" "The acquisition just funded. It's final. It's public." Rachel paused, her voice dropping to a whisper. $20 million, Leia. It's in the account." I froze. The hallway smelled of floor wax and old coffee, a stark contrast to the sudden, staggering reality of 8-figure wealth. 20 million. "They're announcing it on the financial networks right now," Rachel said. "I need you downtown in an hour for the press release. Boardroom, cameras, the works." I looked down at my graduation gown. I'm dressed for a ceremony that didn't matter. "Perfect," Rachel laughed. "Because you just became the biggest story in the city." Another buzz. A photo from my sister, Brooke. She was smearing a designer lipstick in a dressing room mirror, holding a glossy shopping bag. "Mom says we'll grab dinner later. Relax." I didn't reply. I stood up, straightened my shoulders, and walked out into the blinding midday sun. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel like I was waiting for permission to exist. An hour later, I was standing in a glass-walled skyscraper downtown. My graduation gown was draped over a leather chair. Executives from Westbridge leaned in, hanging on my every word. They didn't care that I was 25. They cared that I was a genius. Across town, in the very mall where my parents were browsing handbags, every television in the electronics department suddenly switched to breaking news. Local law student finalizes $20 million tech acquisition. My face filled the screens. My name crawled across the ticker in bold, white letters. Rachel texted me a grainy photo of the mall's giant media wall. My parents were standing right in front of it. My mother's hand was clamped over her mouth. My father looked like he'd been struck by lightning. Brooke was frozen, her shopping bags forgotten on the floor. My phone exploded. 8 missed calls in 10 minutes. I ignored them all as the elevator descended. When I finally stepped onto the sidewalk, I felt light, weightless. My mom's voice was breathless when I finally answered. "Leia, where are you? We saw the news. Why didn't you tell us?" "I'm busy, Mom." "But, the business. We didn't know it was that big. We're leaving the mall now, we're coming to find you." "Don't," I said. The word was a wall. "We want to celebrate you," she cried. "We didn't realize today was so important." "You said it was just a ceremony," I reminded her, my voice devoid of bitterness. "You meant it wasn't worth your time. Now that there's a dollar sign attached, suddenly it is. I'm choosing myself today. Don't call me again tonight." I hung up. My hands were shaking, but my heart was steady. That night, while my parents pounded on my apartment door and left frantic voicemails about family unity, I sat by my window and watched the city lights. I wasn't hiding. I was planning. The next day, I met them on neutral ground, a quiet cafe by the river. They looked smaller, somehow. They tried to apologize, claiming they didn't understand what I was building. "It's not that you didn't understand," I told them, sipping my tea. "It's that you didn't care enough to ask. I love you, but I'm done shrinking my life so it doesn't make you feel guilty for ignoring me." From now on, if you want to be in my world, you show up when there are no cameras. You show up when there's no money. Otherwise, stay at the mall." My father nodded slowly, the shame finally visible in his eyes. For the first time, we were equals. I walked toward the press conference scheduled for that evening, where I would announce my first round of local hires. I wasn't looking back for a seat to be filled. I had realized that my life doesn't pause just because the people I love aren't ready to watch. I won, not because I got rich, but because I stopped needing them to see it. I had already arrived. Subscribe now for more amazing revenge stories that will keep you entertained. Each episode shows how strong and smart people can achieve anything. Speech Balloon, we want to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell us your opinion on the story. Your feedback makes our community better. Thumbs up sign if you like stories of revenge and success. Hit that like button. Your support helps us create more awesome stories for you.